Ladies and gentlemen, we've all experienced it. The moment when everything you've worked for, everything you've planned falls apart, whether it's a personal goal, a professional project, or even a dream you've held onto for years, sometimes plans just don't go the way we expect. It's frustrating, it's discouraging, and it can feel like a setback or even a failure. Plans are often viewed as the foundation upon which we build our success, providing a roadmap for how we will achieve our goals. However, what happens when those plans fail? The key to navigating such moments lies in embracing the reality of change. Life by its very nature is unpredictable. The world around us is constantly shifting, and as much as we try to control outcomes, circumstances are beyond our immediate control. By acknowledging this, we can shift our perspective from one of resistance to one of acceptance, which is essential for effective adaptation. When we allow ourselves to accept that plans may fail, we release the frustration that typically accompanies unmet expectations. The discomfort of failure often stems from an attachment to how things were supposed to be. And when that vision crumbles, we experience a sense of loss. But the reality is that no matter how carefully we plan, things don't always unfold according to our design. Weather, health, economic shifts, technological changes. These are just a few examples of external factors that can alter our course. Even internal factors like changes in motivation, resources, or skills can have a profound impact on the success of our plans. By embracing the reality of change, we also embrace the opportunity for growth. It's crucial to acknowledge that failure doesn't signify the end of a journey, it's simply a redirection. In fact, many of the most innovative solutions and breakthroughs in history arose from failures that forced people to rethink their approach. The key to thriving in these moments is to understand that it's not the failure itself that matters, but how we respond to it. When we accept that things can and will change, we become better equipped to pivot and adjust our strategies. This mindset shift can be incredibly empowering because it frees us from the need for perfection and control. Furthermore, when we accept that plans will fail, we give ourselves permission to experiment and take risks without the crippling fear of failure. If we expect our efforts to succeed every time, we limit our potential. But if we understand that failure is an inevitable part of the process, we allow ourselves to take bold steps, try new things, and learn from each misstep. Instead of viewing failure as a negative outcome, we can view it as part of the journey, an essential piece of the puzzle that contributes to our growth and ultimate success. It's also important to recognize that embracing change doesn't mean passively accepting whatever comes our way. It's about actively choosing to adapt and evolve, and it's a skill that requires practice. In moments when plans fail, we can focus on what we can control. Our mindset, our response, and our willingness to find a new path forward. The more we practice this, the more comfortable we become with uncertainty, and the better we get at turning failure into an opportunity for creativity and reinvention. In the end, embracing the reality of change allows us to maintain a sense of stability amid uncertainty. When we stop resisting the inevitable, we open ourselves to new possibilities and approaches, enabling us to move forward with resilience and confidence, even when our plans have failed. When plans fail, it's easy to feel discouraged and think that all hope is lost. However, the most important thing to remember in those moments is that failure doesn't mean the end of the road. Instead of abandoning everything entirely, the key is to pivot, adjust your approach, and find new ways to move forward. A pivot doesn't mean completely discarding your original goals or dreams. It's about finding new pathways or strategies that still align with your purpose and vision, even if the route looks different than you initially imagined. One of the reasons that many people fail to adapt when their plans fall apart is because they feel an attachment to how things were supposed to unfold. They might have a clear vision of what success looks like and feel that deviation from that path equates to failure. However, a pivot is not a sign of defeat, it's a testament to your resilience and creativity. It means you are still committed to the goal, but you're willing to change the means by which you achieve it. For instance, let's consider an entrepreneur who launches a product only to see it fall short of expectations. The original plan may have been to target a specific audience with a particular marketing approach, but the lack of traction forces them to rethink their strategy. Instead of abandoning the product altogether, a pivot might involve exploring different market segments, adjusting the marketing campaign, or even enhancing the product to meet the needs of a different consumer base. The goal remains the same, but the method of reaching it changes. This kind of flexibility allows for continued progress despite initial setbacks. Pivoting also involves being honest with yourself about what's not working. It requires self-awareness and the ability to look at your situation objectively without letting emotions cloud your judgment. Sometimes a failure can be a valuable teacher, showing you that your assumptions were flawed or that your original plan didn't account for certain realities. The key is not to view this as a personal failure, but rather as a course correction. The pivot involves recalibrating your approach based on new information, insights, or circumstances. The fear of making the wrong decision often holds people back from pivoting. The truth is, no decision is guaranteed to be perfect, and not every pivot will lead to immediate success. But even if your new approach doesn't work as planned, the lessons learned along the way will refine your decision-making and bring you closer to your ultimate goal. In fact, it's often through these iterative adjustments that breakthroughs occur. Moreover, the willingness to pivot reflects an open-minded, growth-oriented mindset. It signals that you're not stuck in your ways, but that you're willing to adapt based on changing circumstances and new opportunities. The most successful people are those who are able to let go of rigid expectations and embrace the unknown. They understand that growth often comes from unexpected places, and that every twist in the journey is part of a larger story. Secondly, pivoting doesn't always require a massive overhaul of your plans. Sometimes it's the small adjustments, revising your timeline, tweaking your approach, seeking feedback, or trying a new strategy that can make all the difference. The key is to remain open to change and to maintain a sense of curiosity about how to overcome the obstacles in your path. Each pivot is an opportunity to refine your strategy and move closer to your vision. In the end, adapting by pivoting isn't just about surviving a failure. It's about thriving in the face of uncertainty. By remaining flexible and willing to adjust your approach, you empower yourself to keep moving forward even when the original plan no longer works. Pivoting is not a sign of weakness or failure. It's a strength that allows you to stay aligned with your goals while embracing the changes that life inevitably brings. Failure is often perceived as the ultimate negative outcome, something to avoid at all costs. However, when we begin to view failure through a different lens, it becomes clear that it is not an endpoint, but rather an essential part of the process. Each time plans fail, we are presented with an opportunity to learn, reflect, and grow. The art of adapting hinges on this mindset, seeing failure as a learning opportunity rather than a permanent setback. When we encounter failure, it's easy to become discouraged. Our first instinct might be to see it as a reflection of our abilities or an indication that we're simply not good enough. This kind of thinking is not only unhelpful, but also detrimental to our progress. Instead of blaming ourselves or focusing on the negative emotions that come with failure, we should shift our focus to what we can learn from the experience. This shift in mindset is crucial for adaptation. Each failure carries valuable lessons that can guide us on our journey. For instance, a failed business venture might reveal flaws in the product, an ineffective marketing strategy, or a misunderstanding of the target audience. Rather than viewing these revelations as reasons to quit, they should be seen as insights that help us refine our approach. Failure teaches us what doesn't work, which is just as important as knowing what does. It provides clarity and allows us to adjust our strategies accordingly. Learning from failure involves being introspective and asking ourselves the tough questions. What went wrong? What could I have done differently? What external factors influenced the outcome? It's about taking a step back and critically evaluating the situation without letting emotions cloud our judgment. This kind of reflection is vital for growth because it helps us uncover patterns, identify weaknesses, and understand the root causes of the failure. By analyzing these aspects, we can adjust our plans and move forward with a more informed and effective approach. Moreover, failure often reveals new perspectives and opens doors to creativity. When the original plan fails, it forces us to think outside the box and consider new solutions. We may come up with ideas that we hadn't thought of before, or stumble upon better ways to approach the situation. These moments of creativity often happen when we are forced to adapt, as they push us to step outside of our comfort zones and experiment with new approaches. Without failure, we might never experience this kind of innovation. Failure also plays a significant role in building resilience. When things don't go according to plan, it tests our ability to persevere and keep going despite setbacks. Resilience is not about avoiding failure, it's about how we handle it. The more we learn to bounce back from failure, the stronger and more adaptable we become. Each failure becomes a lesson in resilience, teaching us how to manage disappointment, maintain focus, and keep working toward our goals. Over time, this builds emotional strength and the confidence that we can overcome future challenges. Additionally, learning from failure helps us become more self-aware. When we fail, we often confront our limitations, whether they're related to skills, resources, or knowledge. Acknowledging these limitations is not a sign of weakness, but rather an opportunity for self-improvement. It encourages us to seek out new learning opportunities, acquire new skills, and build the expertise needed to succeed in the future. By continuously learning from our failures, we create a cycle of growth and self-enhancement that propels us toward success. The ability to learn from failure is also closely tied to adaptability. The more we embrace failure as a teacher, the more agile we become in our thinking and actions. Instead of being discouraged by setbacks, we become more equipped to navigate uncertainty and adjust our plans accordingly. This adaptability is a crucial skill in an ever-changing world, where the only constant is change itself. In the end, failure is not something to fear or avoid, it's something to embrace. It is an invaluable teacher that provides insights, fosters creativity, builds resilience, and encourages self-improvement. By learning from failure, we not only become more adaptable, but also more prepared for future challenges. It is through these lessons that we develop the strength, knowledge, and confidence to achieve success, no matter how many plans may fail along the way. When plans fail, it can often feel like the entire foundation of our efforts has crumbled. In these moments, it's easy to lose sight of why we started in the first place. That's why it's crucial to maintain a strong focus on the why behind our actions. The purpose, cause, or belief that initially inspired us. While the method or approach may change, reconnecting with our deeper motivation allows us to stay grounded, focused, and energized to continue moving forward, even in the face of setbacks. Our why is the driving force behind everything we do. It's the reason we set goals in the first place and the passion that fuels our efforts. Whether it's creating a successful business, pursuing personal growth, or making a positive impact on the world, the why is what gives our endeavors meaning. It's the essence of our mission, and it's often tied to our core values and beliefs. When things don't go as planned, the why can serve as a source of stability, reminding us of our deeper purpose and motivating us to adapt and find new paths forward. One of the challenges of failure is that it can make us question whether our goal is worth pursuing. We may start to doubt our abilities or wonder if we've chosen the wrong path. In these moments of uncertainty, revisiting our why can provide much needed clarity. It reminds us that the goal isn't just about the outcome, but about the journey itself and the values that drive us. When we connect with the deeper purpose behind our efforts, we're less likely to get discouraged by temporary setbacks. Instead, we can focus on the long-term vision and find the resilience to adapt when things don't go according to plan. Additionally, keeping the why at the forefront of our minds helps us maintain motivation when progress seems slow or challenging. It's easy to lose sight of our purpose when obstacles arise, but a clear understanding of why we're doing something gives us the strength to persevere. If the reason we're pursuing a particular goal is meaningful to us, the obstacles become part of the process, rather than roadblocks that stop us in our tracks. The why serves as a constant reminder that we're working towards something greater than the immediate challenges we face. In times of failure, the why also provides a sense of perspective. When we experience setbacks, it's natural to focus on the specific failure or disappointment in front of us. However, by returning to our core motivations, we gain a broader view of the bigger picture. We see that failure isn't an isolated event, but part of the larger journey toward achieving something important. This perspective shift allows us to reframe the situation not as a defeat, but as a necessary step in the process of growth and progress. Staying connected to our why also empowers us to pivot with purpose. When plans fail, we may need to change our approach, but the underlying why can help guide us through that transition. By staying focused on our core mission and values, we can adapt without losing sight of what matters most. The changes we make along the way can still align with our larger purpose, even if the specifics of our plan shift. This alignment ensures that we remain authentic to our vision and that our efforts continue to reflect our deepest beliefs. Furthermore, the why helps us stay resilient in the face of adversity. It reminds us that our journey is not just about achieving a specific goal, but about the impact we want to create. This sense of purpose can help us maintain a positive outlook even when things don't go according to plan. It gives us the strength to keep going, knowing that the path we're on is meaningful, regardless of the bumps along the way. Ultimately, when plans fail, the why is what keeps us anchored. It's the foundation that provides clarity, motivation, and perspective in the midst of uncertainty. By staying connected to our deeper purpose, we can adapt with confidence and resilience, knowing that we're still working towards something that matters. And in doing so, we transform failure from a stumbling block into an opportunity. Adapting in the face of failure requires more than just shifting strategies or changing tactics. It requires emotional resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to persevere through challenges, and to remain mentally and emotionally strong despite setbacks. However, resilience isn't something that comes naturally to everyone, and it's not a trait that we're simply born with. It's a skill that can be developed, refined, and strengthened over time, and it plays a crucial role in adapting when plans fail. One of the fundamental aspects of resilience is the ability to maintain a positive mindset during difficult times. Failure can evoke a range of emotions: frustration, disappointment, sadness, and sometimes even shame or self-doubt. These emotions are entirely natural, but it's how we respond to them that defines our resilience. Resilient individuals don't ignore or suppress these emotions. They acknowledge them, but don't allow them to dictate their actions. They recognize that emotions are temporary and that failure is just a moment in time, not a permanent state. This mindset allows them to navigate through setbacks without losing hope or giving up. Another key aspect of resilience is self-compassion. They recognize that failure is a part of the process and that it doesn't make them any less worthy or competent. By practicing self-compassion, we're able to maintain our emotional strength and continue moving forward even when the road gets tough. Resilience is also about perspective. When plans fail, it's easy to focus solely on the negative aspects of the situation, allowing the setback to overshadow everything else. Resilient individuals, however, are able to take a step back and view the situation from a broader perspective. They ask themselves, by reframing failure in this way, resilience is built. Instead of seeing failure as a roadblock, it becomes a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey that contributes to personal and professional development. Furthermore, resilience is about finding the courage to keep going, even when the path ahead seems unclear. After a failure, it can be easy to feel like giving up is the best option. The uncertainty of whether success is even possible can be overwhelming. But resilient people understand that progress often comes in small steps. They continue to take action, even when they don't know exactly what the future holds. This persistence in the face of uncertainty is a core characteristic of resilience. It's the ability to keep moving forward even when the way ahead is unclear, trusting that each small step brings them closer to their goal. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is its ability to grow through adversity. Resilience isn't about bouncing back to where we were before the failure. It's about becoming stronger and more capable as a result of the challenges we face. Every setback is an opportunity to learn more about ourselves, develop new skills, and build greater mental toughness. Resilience is built through experience, something that we gain every time we face hardship and choose to adapt rather than give up. Each failure, each challenge, adds another layer to our resilience, making us better equipped to handle future obstacles. Finally, resilience is supported by the ability to seek help and support when needed. No one is resilient in isolation, and asking for help doesn't make us weak, it makes us human. Building resilience often involves relying on the support of others, friends, family, mentors, or colleagues, who can offer perspective, encouragement, and guidance. The ability to lean on others, share our struggles, and accept support strengthens our emotional resilience and helps us navigate failure more effectively. In the end, resilience is a powerful tool in the art of adapting to failure. It allows us to bounce back, learn from our experiences, and continue moving forward, even when the road is difficult. By cultivating resilience, we not only become better at handling setbacks, but also become more adaptable, resourceful, and confident in our ability to succeed, no matter how many times our plans may fail. Taking action in the face of uncertainty is often one of the most challenging aspects of adapting to failure. When plans don't go as expected, it's tempting to freeze or retreat, overwhelmed by the unknown and paralyzed by fear of making further mistakes. However, the ability to take action despite uncertainty is one of the key qualities that separates those who thrive in the face of adversity from those who remain stuck. While planning is crucial, it is through action that we create forward momentum, discover new opportunities, and ultimately move closer to our goals, even when the path is unclear. One of the primary reasons people hesitate to take action after a failure is the fear of making the wrong choice. The uncertainty of the situation can lead to overthinking as we analyze every possible outcome and worry about making a mistake. This paralysis by analysis can prevent us from moving forward at all. However, the truth is that action is often more valuable than perfection. In many cases, taking small, calculated steps in the face of uncertainty is more effective than waiting for the perfect solution to appear. Each action, no matter how small, helps us learn, adapt, and gain clarity about the next best step to take. Even in the absence of a clear roadmap, taking action provides critical feedback. When we act, we begin to see the results of our efforts, which informs our next moves. This cycle of action and feedback is essential for growth. It allows us to course correct and make adjustments as needed, improving our approach based on real-world experiences rather than assumptions or hypothetical scenarios. Without taking action, we remain stuck in a state of indecision, unable to learn or grow from the situation. Moreover, action creates momentum, which is vital when recovering from failure. Once we take that first step, no matter how tentative, we start to break free from the inertia that comes with failure. Momentum is a powerful force that propels us forward, making it easier to continue taking action and making progress. It's much like pushing a heavy object. It's hardest to get started, but once the object is in motion, it's much easier to keep it moving. In the same way, taking that first step, even when we're unsure, creates the momentum we need to keep going and make further progress toward our goal. Taking action also provides a sense of control in situations where so much feels uncertain. When plans fail, it can feel like everything is spinning out of our control, and that loss of control can be incredibly disorienting. By taking intentional action, we regain a sense of agency. It's empowering to know that, even in the face of setbacks, we still have the power to make decisions and move forward. Action helps us reclaim our confidence even when we don't have all the answers. Another aspect of taking action in the face of uncertainty is embracing the concept of experimentation. When we don't have a clear solution, we can treat our next steps as experiments, actions taken with the understanding that they might not work out exactly as we hope. By viewing action as experimentation, we remove the pressure to get everything right. This mindset allows us to be more creative, flexible, and willing to try new things without the fear of failure holding us back. Each for failure in this context becomes an opportunity to gather information, refine our approach, and move closer to the right solution.